The outstanding Josh Mulligan got it all started. But 3 goals, and St Mirren brought back to earth with quite the bump after their heroics at Hampden Park last weekend. Hibernian, that was a complete performance from David Gray's men. A much needed victory, just their 4th in the Premiership this season, but they were well worth it in the end. And the final score at the Spicer Stadium, St Mirren 0, a rare defeat for them on home soil. Hibernian 3.
Thank you very much for that, Rory. It's been a long time coming for Hibs. That elusive win against the Saints and getting themselves back up to 3rd place in the Scottish Premiership table. 2 goals chalked off, 3 goals that did stand, a possible claim for a penalty. It was a pretty lively 90 minutes, Alan Hutt and Charlie Mulgrew.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think from a Hibs point of view, they really grew into the game, especially that second half. St Mirren tried to change it when they lost the second goal, went a little bit more attacking, which gave room to Hibs to go and exploit, and that's exactly what they've done. I thought Nicky Cadden out on the left-hand side was back to his best, slinging in balls that was really difficult to defend, and overall, we spoke about David Gray's side dropping points from winning positions. That's not what happened tonight. They put their foot to the floor, they got it over the line, 3 goals and a clean sheet.
It is. The disallowed goals for St Mirren really killed them, because then when Hibs did score, it was like a double blow for them. It's early in the second half, they get the goal disallowed, and then Hibs go up the park and score. Hibs were brilliant. I thought Grant Hanley was led very well again, managed to keep a clean sheet there, no many chances against. Nicky Cadden on the left side, putting balls in the box, was a huge player again for Hibs. He looked as if he was really back to his best stuff, and yeah, Hibs well deserved. Great away performance.
Is Grant Hanley paying you?
By the way, I feel as if that Grant Hanley's your new Rocky Bushiri.
And that's the question I've got for David Gray. How good is Grant Hanley?
Here we go.
Did you have to write that one down? I tell you what, right, you can see him on our screen right now. He's joining the rest of his teammates. They were coming over to these Hibs supporters, really enjoying this moment, because psychologically, given what we've been speaking about for the last few weeks about these draws, them not being able to hold on, this is a hugely important victory.
It's massive for them, and confidence-wise. I think there was a time even at 2-0 you thought, if St Mirren scored here, there could be a wobble for Hibs. They could have asked themselves questions, but they managed to get the 3rd goal. They've got the clean sheet. It's so important for them.
This is against a difficult team. It's hard to come here and get a convincing victory, especially the high of last week and getting to a final. So to come here and put on that sort of performance, credit to them, because they needed it.
They were brilliant. Hibs really good. I think, looking at St Mirren though, I think massively they missed out. They missed Gogic and O'Hara. I think 2 big players, especially Gogic. I don't think King covered himself in glory the way he played today. I think that Gogic is a huge miss for them, in O'Hara. We showed, I think, his legs in midfield and his leadership skills were missed.
Well, let's have a little look at how this leaves the Scottish Premiership table tonight. Hearts still lead the way, Celtic behind, but there they are, Hibernian back up to 3rd place on 18 points, breathing down the neck of Celtic, who play Kilmarnock tomorrow. Well, special nights for Hibernian. 3 goals they managed away from home. We'll get all the reaction from their manager, David Gray, and the player of the match after this short break. Right, lots more reaction to bring you from this. A big result for Hibs here in Paisley. Let's get some reaction from the player of the match, Josh Mulligan, who's alongside Martin Boyle, who's also alongside Stephen Craigan.
So that feels like a big win this evening, doesn't it?
Yeah, especially after obviously a disappointing result last week. To bounce back is it's a big win.
That's the team now up to 3rd place, and the manager said this week he still feels like there's more to come. Do the players feel like that as well?
Yeah, obviously some games we feel like we've dropped points. But also I think we've done well in games as well, so it's just about putting a run together, and winning games is hard. Football is hard, especially in this league, so happy with the result today.
And there was a lot of questions asked of the team this afternoon, coming to St Mirren on a high. You guys disappointing last weekend, so when you put your full performance together, what is this team capable of?
Yeah, obviously the European stuff at the start of the season showed that we're capable of playing against top teams, but I think it's just doing it week in, week out. And yeah, like I says, it's hard to win games of football in this league, so if we can put a run together, like I says, that'll be big for this team.
Martin, at times the team had the red luck this afternoon with VAR getting involved, but everyone must be delighted coming to a place like this and leaving with 3 points. Yeah,
we're ecstatic. Obviously, a really tough place to come, as you mentioned. Definitely rode our luck at times, but that's what happens. That's what VAR is for. Hopefully it's correct, because we don't want any more mistakes and any more dramas. But like you say, we created enough chances to win the game, and thankfully we've done that.
Now, that's always made of the attacking threat, but a special word to your defenders this afternoon, because they had to defend their box, they had to put their bodies in the line, and to get a clean sheet in a place like this must give everyone a lift.
Yeah, it's a great confidence boost. Obviously, clean sheets are important, and the attacking threat that we have, we know we have the confidence to win games. But like you say, the back line were brilliant today. Fair play to them. So, like you say, we can take that into the break and we'll go again.
A special word for the guy beside you, because he made the same move as yourself from Dundee to Hibs. He settled in really well. He's been involved with the Scotland squad. You must be delighted with his progress.
Yeah, really lucky to have him, to be honest. Great prospect, like you say. He's reaped his rewards getting an international call-up, which is fantastic. A lot of people do when they play well for this club. He's still got a lot to learn, but he's taken on the information that the boss has given him, and like you say, we're lucky to have him, and he can only get better.
Josh, you're the Premier Sports Man of the Match. Martin, would you please do the honours for us?
Thank you, bud.
Cheers, pal.
Thank you.
Cheers.
I don't know if it's just me, but you kind of forget how young Josh Mulligan is. He's only 22, and making that switch from Dundee, changing up his position a little bit, has really brought him on, hasn't it?
He's a really good player. I really like him when he plays midfield. He's got so much power and strength in his legs, and he can score a goal. You've seen tonight. He's done really well. I think there's more to come for him as well. It was linked with Rangers in the summer, and Hibs managed to get him. So you look at the signings that Hibs have made in the summer, and you think, what a right good squad. They've got a good team. They competed with Midtjylland. You've seen how good they were during the week. It just shows you, as Josh Mulligan said, they're putting it together week on week. Keep me clean sheets and keep the goal threat they've got, and they'll be fine.
I think Rangers have missed out on a top player, in my opinion, a Scottish player. I think he's versatile, he can play in a number of positions, and we're starting to see the best of him. He's playing at a big club as well now.
Yeah, well, let's have a look at what he could do, because this first goal was McGrath who set it up, a really good pick out from him. And then there he was, Josh Mulligan. A lot of power behind this, but real precision.
Yeah, it's a bad play for a St Mirren point of view. Straight away try to play for the back. They're very unlike them, but fair play to Hibs. They get on it, McGrath gets on it, puts the ball across, and it's just about keeping your eye on it. He opens his foot up and just about hitting the target with a side foot with a bit of power. It's a really good finish.
He's just really calm in the moment. It needs to be, he's focused, it's a good contact. I think from a St Mirren point of view, Stephen Robinson will look back at this and think it's a really poor goal. I think Shamal George is trying to go one further up, but McGrath, he's on it, he sees it, he reads it really well, and look, that's a great.
That could so finish. Easily be skied right across that bar.
If he tries to,
that's exactly what I'd have done.
Well, same.
Would you, Charlie?
Probably. Definitely my right foot. If he strides onto that and tries to blast it with his laces, it easily goes over the bar. But his side foot.
But there's the exact thing, isn't it? It's about confidence, having the confidence to take your time there, and that coming from someone at 22 is quite unique.
Yeah, of course, but. Look, I think the move that he's made, he was ready for, and it's no disrespect to Dundee. I just think that there was a lot more to come from him. He'll get that playing under David Gray in this side and the direction that they're moving in, and he's only going to get better the more that he plays, I feel.
Although he's not scored a lot of goals in his career, I think at 22, going forward, with the power he's got in his legs to get back and defend, he can get up and get in the edge of the box like he did there. So I think that's a bit that will come more goals and shots and goal.
We'll speak to David Gray shortly. He made 3 changes tonight. The Cadden twins were part of those changes, and they linked up really well for this one. Nicky just linking up with Chris to make sure that it gave Hibs just that little bit more of a cushion.
Yeah, I think it's always nice to have that breathing space and get the second goal, but I thought Nicky Cadden in the second half was excellent, getting down the left-hand side. We know how much quality he's got in that left foot, and you just see here, he picks him out, and it's another great finish.
And we've been joined by the Hibs manager who can cast his eye over this. We're just looking at Chris Cadden's second goal. What did you see from where you were?
Obviously we were right behind it, so when he hits it, I knew it was pretty much going in. I think delighted for Cads, because it's something he's been wanting to add to his game and trying to get forward. Slight deflection there as well, that's went for us. So Delighted for him because he's had to work hard at his game. He's had a few disappointments recently this season as well. He's been fighting with that, but he deserves it for what he puts into it.
You must be delighted overall, because coming to a place like this, and I know your away form's been decent, but coming away with all the talk around, all the draws and everything else, and really making sure that you put an emphasis on getting the right result tonight.
Yeah, it's a massive win, massive win. I think I've said it before the game, very much fine margins for us recently this season. Big decisions within games, or you look at even just last weekend, Kieran Bowie's just offside. Tonight it went for us, so the couple of decisions St Mirren players were just offside. So they're very big moments in the game that went for us tonight. All in all though, I thought we were excellent in the game. 3-0 clean sheet away from home in a really difficult place. You have to stand up to the physical challenge. St Mirren, the set pieces that they put in, they put you under real pressure all the time, and I thought the players done well with that.
Well, let's have a look at the third goal actually. We had the second, we may as well get the third. Miguel Chaiwa coming off the bench, an inspired substitution obviously, and we won't, I guess if you're Marcus Fraser...
Just this, aye.
For a strike.
If you're Marcus Fraser, you don't want to see this again, but I mean, the way that was going as well, it looked as it was sort of instantaneously, you thought, is that actually over or is it under? But it smacked off the underside of the bar. You'll be delighted with that.
Yeah, delighted. I think it's a good bit of composure there at the back post as well, not to lash at it. So that's something I would say. So Josh Campbell at the back post to take the touch. I think it's unfortunate for the defender trying to put his head in the way. But again, it just goes back to what we said there. That's something that goes for us tonight, and then it changes the game. That's a big moment again. If that gets his head and it goes just over the bar, it's still 2-0. It's all to play for. As soon as it goes 3, then it makes the game a lot more comfortable towards the end.
But this is what your squad's capable of, I feel. I mean, it's not easy to come here and score 3 goals clean sheet. I know there has been points dropped from winning positions, but when it all clicks, that's what you get.
Yeah, it's something I've said a lot about. I believe there's a lot more to come for this group. This season, I think when you look at some of our performances, have been of a very high standard, but we've maybe let ourselves down in certain moments, whether that's an individual error or very fine margins like I spoke about. But also, I don't believe we've really hit the ground to the point to where we can get to. I think there is, as I said, more to come. There's a lot of strength and depth within the squad, a lot of competition for places, and I do think where we are now, where the frustration is because of potential opportunity we've had in games and found ourselves in games. But if you strip it all back after 11, 12 games over as you're sitting third in the league, it's certainly not a bad place to be, knowing that there's more to come.
What about Grant Hanley? How big a part has he played in the team?
He loves Grant Hanley.
I swear you should.
Loves him.
All day.
I spoke him up before the game.
Have you got a T-shirt of Grant Hanley?
I've
he
got
does
full
under
stats
there.
here. Since he's come in the team, things have showed up at the back. Would you agree? Is that?
Yeah, I think the reasons why you want to try and bring someone like that to the football club, for all the reasons that you would expect, he's delivered in abundance. I think how he is every day in training ground, leads by example, calm and influence, but you don't play the amount of caps you get for Scotland without being a top player, and he certainly is that, and we're benefiting from that experience at the back, the calm and influence, and you can see even tonight he's calm on the ball, he's dictating, driving the line and winning big headers and defending the box, and St Mirren force you to defend the box at all times, so he's been a very good addition.
Is it a wee bit annoying, right, when you start to come into a bit of form like this? Because it's been creeping up and we've seen, moments of it throughout the last few games. But then you look at your next 3 matches. Obviously, we get the international break. Home to Dundee, away to Motherwell, home to Celtic. You've got this break in between. Is that a little bit annoying in terms of momentum?
I think it's just some part of football. You have to just look at, you have to just deal with that. We've got a lot of players that do go away on international duty. I looked at it as making sure we got 3 points before the break to give us an opportunity. Looking at the amount of games we've played so far, yes, we're a wee bit disappointed, but we've not got more points on the board from the position we've maybe found ourselves in. But tonight was a big moment in terms of making sure we put ourselves in a really good position. Then we can go moving forward now into the next round of fixtures, having played everybody now. That's us seeing everybody. Everyone's played everyone. The league's going to be incredibly tight, as you've already seen. It's going to continue to be that way. And as I've said, because I believe there is more to come from the group, if we can really kick on in this next round of fixtures, we'll be in a better place come Christmas.
The whatever you're seeing, right, that you're saying that, and I've heard you saying this a few times before about there's something else, there's real potential within this squad. Two parts to that. What do you need to do to make sure that we're all seeing that as well? And how far can that go?
It's every day on the training pitch with the players. I think when you look at the players we've got, the strength and depth, I speak about it all the time. I do believe at times we've maybe not been as clean as we like to be in terms of what the players are capable of doing in games. I see it in training all the time. The players know it more than ever. Boys know it more than ever. It's all well and good putting it on the training pitch. Can you then convert that into games? And if you look at just Livingston, was a prime example of it, where you give the opposition a little bit of encouragement and momentum and opportunity by a misplaced pass, which these players are much more capable of, and I think the concentration levels have been something as well.
Is that then sort of performance anxiety? Is that down to something that needs to happen here rather than what you're doing? If you're seeing that one place and you're not necessarily seeing that converted onto the pitch?
No, it's just my job's to make sure the players go onto the pitch with full belief in themselves and a game plan to be able to go and deliver that. And they believe in themselves. They're all good football players. They're here for a reason, and I think that's my job's to try and get the best out of them and try and give them the platform to do that.
Well done tonight. You're back to
Thank
third.
you very much.
Congratulations.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming over and chatting to us.
See you. Thank you very much. See you later.
See you later. David Gray there, the Hibs manager. I thought he ran off there actually.
It's because you kept on questioning him.
Well, I'm interested because you know whenever we see a certain thing right for 90 plus minutes, and then when managers come over and talk to us, they'll sort of insinuate that there's something more and there's something more coming. I wonder what you do as a coach. You know, you've been there. What does that look like?
Well,
Charlie
he says, definitely knows a manager. No,
You're
I'm
in flames
just joking.
tonight.
he's jumping on the
Absolute
bandwagon with
flames.
that Hibs fan.
I know. I just explained actually for everybody watching at home. Charlie was just getting absolute dog's abuse from a Hibs fan there about his time at Celtic.
Oh, that's nothing compared to what I've had. But yeah.
Anyway, as you were saying,
he's obviously seen it in training pitch. So what he's seen in the team, he knows how much there is to come for them. He knows that they're, no matter if that's scoring more goals, keeping more clean sheets, being more ruthless in front of goal,
Putting that belief in
having
these
better
players.
possession.
He knows they're capable. I think.
I know, but how do you do that? I hear this all the time, and I never actually. Somebody give me a step-by-step guide. What does that look
normally
like?
There's a moment that happens within a squad, and they all realise the penny drops that we are very good at what we're doing. And they believe in the manager, the plan, the flow, everything just comes together. And this could be the season, because you look at the squad, they've kept the core of it together, they've added, the recruitment I think's been excellent. So when that all just starts to come together, we'll see it on the pitch.
Maybe by just what he's saying here, as part of the mind games of there's more to come for this squad, I've seen more for them. So they don't feel that they've completed. If he sits here and talks about how good they were and how brilliant they are and how they're amazing, they might think, oh, this is the best we can get. Whereas if he says we're being good, but we can be even better because I've saw it in training, maybe that's enough to give the players a belief.
Well, we shall see. Right, OK, it was a decent night for Hibs, not necessarily for St Mirren. They remain 8th in the Scottish Premiership and might feel a little bit aggrieved about some of the decisions tonight. We'll hear what the manager, Stephen Robson, has got to say after the break. Welcome back to Paisley. It was a convincing win in the end for Hibernian, 3-0 against St Mirren. And it was, I don't know, how are you feeling about if you're a St Mirren fan? Because there were some controversial moments, 2 disallowed goal, 1 potential penalty claim as well. The first one, this one from Marcus Fraser. We saw the lines at half-time, but I mean, I don't know, Charlie, how did you see this?
Listen, as a St Mirren fan, you'd be disappointed because it's not very clear. I think as the ball goes back here to Bacchus and he crosses it from this angle here,
He's already kicked the ball.
He's already kicked the ball. It's because we don't have loads of camera angles for VAR, it's really hard to get the exact millisecond he kicks that ball, because that's when it's so important.
So if you're a frame out, basically,
of course,
and you've already touched the ball, that could be the difference. Like, these offsides are so tight that can literally be the difference between on and offside. And I think it was ultra close. When you see it when the line's on, the ball actually looks like it's touching. So see the ball there, it looks like it's touching the red line almost, which means it would be on, but from that angle it's very difficult.
So this is the second lot of the lines that we had drawn from VAR. So the first one that we showed you at half time maybe wasn't quite as clear, but this seems to be, well, I don't.
So they needed 2 sets.
Well,
could they not just give the clear set first?
They sent us through these ones just to clarify it full time, but does that make it any clearer?
No, because to make it completely clear we would need a camera.
Yeah, the other side.
In line with the box, so we can see exactly when the ball touches Bacchus's foot. But because we don't have that camera angle, we're assuming from here that's when it touches his foot, and it's hard to tell.
And so there was that one, the Marcus Fraser one. Then there was this one, the Dan Lundulu one, which again came right at just after the break. Again, the timing of this crucial, the timing of that first one crucial, because it was so early on in the first half as well. These are the big moments that if you don't get right, can be so crucial in matches like this. But I don't know, this one, what do you think, Alan?
Yeah, of course. I mean, from there, like, without seeing lines, like, I looked onside just there, but so when you see it here, that's of course,
yeah.
Because the lines are there for a reason, so you can actually tell.
Yeah, and I think that's a bit easier to see that,
because at the other side.
Yeah, and there's distance there.
Yeah, you can see that's the time he connects with the ball, so it's a lot easier to see it on that camera angle, so he is offside.
Right, well, let's have a look at both sets. So the one that we showed you first and foremost, this is the one that we had at half-time, which looks as though the ball's past the blue line there. And this is the second version of that, which looks as if the ball...
So how have they come to that decision where there's less space now?
I just think it's just a different version of the same picture, is it? Or is it a frame that's just slightly before it or slightly after?
But how have you got
it's
a bigger
obviously
gap?
zoomed
And
in as well.
Let's get it straight. If the ball's in line with the red line, that means it's in line with Marcus Fraser, which means he can't be offside. Now, to me, that looks like the ball's touching the red line there, like we said earlier, so then he would be onside.
Well, here's the thing, and that one there, is it conclusive? And if it's not conclusive, then it can't be.
It's not. Can't be with that camera angle. We don't have enough camera angles, which means
too often. Like for me.
Does this go back to the one we were speaking about earlier on at Hibs with Maeda down in the right hand corner?
Where you couldn't really tell. You couldn't see it. Like.
So if you can't tell, then I guess that goes back to the initial point that if they can't tell and it's not being conclusive, then they can't get it.
Yeah.
Right, OK, well, I'll tell you what, we've had our say. Let's hear what the St Mirren manager has got to say, because he's live with Stephen Craigan.
Stephen, how do you begin to analyse that game?
Disappointment. We spoke about levels and consistency levels, and I genuinely thought we had 3 players that played at the same level as we did on Saturday, and that's a problem you have, trying to keep them consistency levels, and that gets you to the next level as a player and as a football club. I didn't feel we had that tonight, and things went against us at certain stages. We start great, have a goal disallowed. We get back into the game, have a goal disallowed. So it was a noticeable disappointment from there. But I have to give Hibs credit. They done what we do. They delivered loads of balls. Nicky Cadden was outstanding tonight. Everything he done, one touch, delivered balls into the box, caused us massive problems. They landed on more second balls than us, which allowed them then to get a foothold and control the game. Disappointment. We're not replicating the cup form in the league. There's some decent parts of the performances, but overall disappointing. We need to reset again after the break.
The 2 disallowed goals, have you watched them back or had any information from VAR or from the referee of why?
No, I haven't seen them back. Our cameras don't work on the bench. Unfortunately, we can't really have a view on it, so it'd be wrong for me to comment on them, whether they're right or wrong. You're hoping they've got it right, because it's obviously turning points in the game. But again, I can't control the referee's decisions, but we can control performances, and we changed that 4. That doesn't work, and that's why I stick with the same people week in, week out. We missed Mark O'Hara, we missed Alex Gogic tonight. That's not making excuses. I thought Hibs deserved to win. I thought they'd done the simple things so much better than us, and everything we are good at, we didn't do well enough tonight.
Well, the reason I ask about that is because there's been 2 sets of lines put out for the first goal, and there's been a bit of discussion on our panel that the ball actually may look closer to the onside line than it does the offside line. In the second set of lines that were given, that doesn't help, does it?
No, it's a key moment in the game. You go 1-0 up, they have to come out more. You hit them in the counter attack, which suits us. It suits us not to take the game to teams, if we're being honest. The second one, I had a feeling it might be off in the build up to it, but I can say numerous things, but that's just, I'm finding excuses. And yeah, of course, like you can see the disappointment in the players after the second goal was disallowed, but and we didn't get the reaction we wanted. So we're in control of the reactions, we're in control of the subs. I didn't think we got any impact from anybody that came on. And ultimately, they delivered more balls, they had an end product to the game, and we didn't.
Does the last week highlight the highs and lows of a football manager and where your emotions are and how you have to try and find some balance?
That's why I try and stay balanced, because you always know if you get too carried away, there's a fall. You look at Hibs last year and they were rock bottom and they finished 3rd. So certainly the season's still in its infancy. We have to start picking up points in the league, of course, or you're looking over your shoulder all the time. But it's a frustrating job at times. But that's the management life of managing a team like St Mirren. There's never going to be that level of consistency without these blips, and we have to react to this, have our 4 days off now, and come back firing again and get each other back doing what we do well.
Stephen, thanks very much for your time.
Cheers.
Thank you.
St Mirren manager there saying that he's not had a chance to look at it. I wonder, Michael Stewart's back with us, I wonder if he does have a look at it, Michael, he might be a little bit perplexed as to why the 2 versions of those lines, and we'll have a look at them now, are different.
Right, well, I mean, obviously we were talking about this at half-time. They've come through with second, pictures and graphics because they made a mistake in the first one. The first one was drawn off of Grant Hanley's boot, the yellow boot. That was the first one. And the second one for me is then being drawn off the ball, because we spoke about it. The ball was in front of the blue line originally. So they've made a mistake. And I think they've used a different frame in the second shot. There's a different frames being used, because to me, and it would take, time to zoom in and analyse. Rory and I have been doing it a little bit. The lines come up on, I don't know who it is it Richardson that crosses it?
Where's Grant Hanley's boot here?
The Grant Hanley's yellow boot is right in the middle of the 6-yard box.
Just see his boot on the ball.
His yellow boot, the first blue line is on his boot, with the ball in front of that blue line. So there's a mistake being made. And the point in all this is, Connie, that this is a system that is dependent on complete accuracy. And this has been shown that there was a mistake made. And second of all, we've been questioning, what frame do you use? Do you roll it forward a frame, back a frame? I don't think the system is accurate enough to be able to depend and make calls of such minuscule detail. I think the system is not fit for purpose. And that is a huge error that's been made. And the second one, I think they've used a different frame to make sure that they can still show that Marcus Fraser is marginally in front and offside.
Is it not fit for purpose because we don't have the equipment that is equipped enough to show us an accurate enough picture? Because effectively that's what's happening there.
Don't have enough cameras, do we?
No, the picture's not clear enough to be able to see it.
If that's the case, you don't have it then. If you don't have...
Well,
I just don't think, you can talk about cameras for us to visually look at it, but you've got people that are in the studio that are rolling frames forward and back, and they're having to calibrate and everything like that. But what we've seen there is there was a human error made in terms of where they drew the first line. The second one has been used on a different frame. I think it's too close to call so many decisions on a system that I'm not sure is being used the way it should be getting done. And if you're like that and you're making big calls and goals are being disallowed, I don't think it should continue.
She should chuck it.
Yes, absolutely. We spoke about this before and said, I think to speed things up as well, VAR should be looking at things for a few seconds and then determining without drawing lines, do they stick with the on-field decision or not? It speeds things up.
If it gets that way where it is too tight,
yes,
you just stick with what's been...
There's a mistake being made there and they're trying to cover it up. And I think that is shown that the system is flawed.
When we spoke about it at half-time, we assumed the lines were drawn right and it was offside if that was the case. But if they're not, then what are we dealing with?
Okay, we need to get a bit of clarification on that. I think that would be useful in this situation, just so that we could exactly figure out, and let them have their say back the way. Just Hibs. Michael, I mean, you had your say during the match. This is a hugely crucial match for them, and potentially we were listening to David Gray talking there about where they should they be?
Well, I mean, I think they could easily be sitting second in the table comfortably. They've dropped a lot of points from commanding positions. I thought today they just got better and better as the game went on. Of course, there's big decisions that have gone their way. I'm not saying that it was, fortunate or good luck or whether they didn't deserve it, but I thought they capitalised on it. I thought they were very good. And as the game went on, it reminded me a bit of the performance at Pittodrie as well. Very, very strong. And, Hibs, it's onwards and upwards for them at the moment. They've got a very good squad and they're performing pretty well.
Just briefly, the key part of that is they could be. Yeah, so we'll find out whether or not they will continue up that table. Listen, thank you very much, both of you, or all of you, for your company tonight. We will see you again very soon on Premier Sports.